Hi everyone. I don't know if I should show this, but someone's letting fireworks off. And of course now they've stopped. It's 20 past 11 on Saturday and I've just filmed 2 back-to-back videos. I was in 2 minds whether or not to start a 3rd one, but I said at the end of the other one I was going to start one, and I don't want people to think I've lost my mind and not doing what I'm saying I'm going to do. So I'm probably going to film for maybe 15 minutes and I want to go home because I'm getting really tired. And I want to try and watch something on TV when I get back and maybe have something to eat. I can't even remember what I was saying. I was going about buying multiple items of clothing, I think. I don't know if that's how I ended it. I ended it going on about videos and video clips and like I did delete a lot, and I'm partly frustrated with myself, but partly I can see why I did it, because obviously when I'm uploading continuously on that laptop, because I was filming on the camera because I didn't have my phone, it got a bit too much. And you know, when it's taking all that time, and I don't know why it was taking that amount of time, probably because I was filming on the camera, but when I film on my phone, like say that I just filmed for like 30 minutes or 35, whatever it was, that's probably going to take a good 6 to 8 hours to upload. But those 3-minute clips were taking hours and hours and hours, and I don't know why, but that's what was happening. But when I was away, I was getting a lot uploaded whilst I was there, because the internet was really fast compared to what it is at my house. But we can't have any broadband other than Sky, because that's all that there is where we live, and it's really frustrating, especially when I'm trying to do videos and things like that. And that's another reason why I've took the break, and that's why I sometimes do these. A lot of the times I'm doing them when I'm very depressed and trying to distract myself, and I have come here to distract myself tonight because I know I can't get out tomorrow night. I mean, I can, but you know, I want to go to bed, but I know I'm not going to go to bed, so there is a good chance I'll probably go for a drive and I might film. It just depends how I'm feeling. Like, there's sometimes when I'm really down and I'm struggling and I don't film, but there's times when I'm really down and struggling and I do film. And I normally know if I'm going to, even before I get to my most distressed, and I'll know. Like today, I knew I was going to come for a drive and I knew I'd film, but I didn't know how much I was going to film because I didn't know how I was going to feel. And I have felt worse than I'm feeling now, but I felt better than I'm feeling now. So I know this is distracting me and stopping my mind from going to a really dark place, and that's why, you know, having a car and a license is the most important things to me, because it has stopped me from doing things to myself when I'm really upset. One of the reasons I couldn't sleep last night is because of how depressed and how I was feeling last night. My mind is going to places that it's never been before, and I get really ill from it, and I can't come out for a drive when I'm in those places, and not because I would necessarily do anything, but because of what's going on in my head and sometimes how it makes me feel physically. I just can't go for a drive because I just would be incapable of driving. That's why sometimes when I'm out and I'm filming, I'll abruptly finish the video because I'll need to get home, because I know my head's going to go to that place and I wouldn't be able to drive home whilst it's in that place, if that makes sense. I can't even describe what place my mind goes to or what happens, but it affects me physically as well as mentally, and it's not very nice. And that's one of the reasons why I couldn't sleep last night, and I didn't want to harp on about it, and that's why, you know, I filmed a couple of videos last night, and I know they were like a minute long or something like that, but I needed to try and take my mind to another place, and it actually worked. I could feel myself getting into that mindset quite early in the evening when I was watching something on TV, or half watching, because I never fully watch anything. And I started to feel quite ill, and I knew last night I couldn't come out for a drive because of how physically ill it makes me feel now. So that's one of the reasons I came out tonight, because of how ill I was last night and I couldn't get out. And it is frustrating for me not to be able to come out, but because of how physically unwell it makes me feel, it's just not, it's not unsafe. Like, I'd still be fine driving. It's just like, when I got here, if I got that ill, I would have to get out my car and walk around. And obviously where I am, as you can see, there's no street lights, so I'm obviously somewhere where there's no street lights, and it wouldn't be safe for me to get out my car and be in the mind place I am, because I wouldn't be aware of my surroundings or who I was around or who could possibly be around me. So for my own safety, you know, I can't come out here when I'm in that mindset or feeling that way physically, because I get so into this thing in my head that I don't know what's going on. And that's one of the reasons why I've not been coming out some nights, or I've not been coming out late, because it wouldn't be safe, because I couldn't just sit here filming with what's going on in my head. I rush around the house and try and distract my mind, and if I was parked up here, I would have to get out my car and walk around, and obviously I don't think that would be the safest thing for me to be doing at this time of night, or even possibly in the daytime, I don't know. So that's one of the reasons, if I'm being honest with everyone here. And I do think it's important to talk about depression and things like that, because a lot of people don't understand it, and a lot of people thinking it's an excuse, or people just saying it. And you know, I don't use excuses. I don't even like telling people when I'm sick. Like, for me to say I'm unwell means I'm very unwell. I can put up with a lot of illnesses and ignore them to some extent, and the illnesses that I carry normally, the symptoms I get, a lot of them I don't notice because of what's going on in my head. And when the ones that I do normally notice, because I'm used to them, they don't really matter that much or come into my mind that much where I would mention them. And also, I don't feel like they're strong enough or bad enough for me to just go around talking about them or saying, oh, I don't feel well. For me to actually say I'm unwell, people who know me, for me to actually say it normally is when I'm really very unwell. And then I don't always say it. But yeah, I've been ill for about 3 weeks now, and I finally have a doctor's appointment next Friday, or this coming Friday. I can't get one sooner. The receptionists are like, you just can't get anywhere with them, and you're trying to explain how you're feeling, and they're like, well, yeah, you're not well enough to even go on the triage list. And I'm thinking, oh my god, like, when did they qualify as doctors, these receptionists? So I've got to wait till Friday, and then I've been ill for a month then. I mean, last time I went, I was on day 15 of being ill, and she thought it was just going to go away, and it didn't. Which is kind of ironic, I guess. But yeah, some days I don't feel as bad, and like right now I don't feel too bad. Normally it starts to kick in around midnight, 1 o'clock, and I'll feel ill in the night. That's why one of the reasons I wake up as well is because of how ill I'm feeling, and then I'll feel horrendous in the morning until some point in the afternoon. Then normally when I start to feel well, that's normally when I'll go to the shop, rush around the shop, because there's nothing worse than being out the house feeling ill. Then I'll come home and I won't feel too bad for a little while, and then it'll kick in at some point in the evening. And it's not fun. It's a bit crap, really. But obviously I've got illnesses that I'm not getting treatment for by choice. As I've said, they can't force me. They can only advise me, and they keep asking me. Like, I do get asked a lot. My doctor says to me, I really need the operation and I need to get the treatment, but she can't force me, and she knows some of the reasons why I'm refusing it. And I think she understands, but obviously she thinks differently from me. She would have the operation. She's not me. No one else is me, but I'm just me. I can only think for myself, and I can only make my decisions about operations. Like, everyone else tells me what to do, and I do it, and it's fine. I do it, even if I don't want to do it, even if it's something I definitely don't want to do or I'd never normally do. I'll just do it just to keep everyone happy. But this is one decision I'm not going to let anyone make for me. It's my body. It's my choice. If I want to be ill and risk dying, that's totally my choice. If people want me to do everything else, like I said, I went to something on Wednesday, didn't want to do. Other people wanted me to do, and I did it. I was stressed out about it. I was nervous. It's not something I felt comfortable with, but I did it because other people wanted it. Other people expected me to do it, and I did it. And it's not what people who are watching this might think it was. They'd be shocked if they knew what I did. And it's like Monday. I've got to go up at 6 o'clock on Monday. I've got to go and do something that I'm nervous about, apprehensive about, scared about, worried about, stressed out about, and lots of other things. But I said I'd do it. So, I do things that I say I'll do that other people want me to do, or ask me to do, or would like me to do. I do it. And the only one thing that I will not back down on is this operation. And there's only one person who could possibly, and not even definitely could get me to do it, but there's a chance one person could get me to change my mind. And that isn't even a given. Like, if this person asked me or whatever, it's not a 100% guarantee that I would definitely would, but I'm more likely to go and have the operation for one person. But right now, it's not going to happen. And it's the only thing that I won't back down on. Everything else I always back down on. I always do what everyone wants. I always give people what they want, whatever. But this is the one thing that I definitely won't back down on. It's my choice, and the doctor won't force me. The doctor can't force me. The only way that they can do it without my permission is if I collapsed and didn't come round and they did it to save my life. That is the only way it will happen. But if I collapse at home and I'm home alone, it's not going to happen, is it? So, even if I do collapse from it, which they predicted will eventually happen, they would have to get to me, because the chances are I would do it at home, and I'm home alone the majority of the time. And if I collapse in my bedroom, I definitely wouldn't be found, and no one would ever know I've collapsed. And if I collapse and I'm unconscious, then it's definitely not going to happen. The only time it would happen is if I collapse away from a house. And then I've been told I obviously won't have no choice, because if you collapse or get rushed into hospital and you're unconscious and you're not well enough to make that decision yourself because you're unconscious, they do it to save your life. And they even said to me, even if it got to the position where they take me into theatre to try and save my life, if I've got that ill where it's got to the point where I'm collapsing like that, the chances are they couldn't save my life. So we will see if it happens or not. But that's why I'm ill all the time, because obviously my illnesses are starting to make me very ill. Probably poisoning myself. Probably end up with blood poisoning. And I'm getting outward symptoms and signs where certain things are happening to my body which are noticeable, that people will start to notice, and it's because I'm refusing this operation. But that's how it is, and I have reasons, and I'm not going to tell people. I mean, I've told people some of the reasons, but there are more reasons to it, which people might find out if I die. We'll see. So, it's still raining. It's not heavy raining. I find it quite peaceful up here, even though there's all this traffic. I bet there's not all this traffic at like 1 or 2 in the morning. I bet it's so peaceful up here. But I'd probably end up getting freaked out up here at that time because it is pitch black. I know, like, I used to go and meet my ex somewhere, but it was never pitch black because literally where it was, you could see across the town and you could see all these lights, and it was very well lit up there, and I never once felt the way I would feel up here at that time in the morning. Like, if he ever wanted to meet me up here, I'd be like, no. I mean, I don't meet him anyway. My dad presumes I do because he knows, well, he's known I've gone out a few times, but I don't go out the times I used to go out, but he still thinks I'm going to meet him because he's seen him loitering around, as he calls it. But I don't go meet anyone. I just come and be by myself and talk crap and film videos that are way too long to go up. I'm still working on trying to get that footage up, but it's not a priority for me at the moment. I think I uploaded a video last night, not live, and I think I'm gonna set it to go live Monday morning. I need to do that tomorrow if I'm gonna do that. And then obviously I've just filmed 2 other videos on this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them though. I will upload them to my channel. So if that one goes up Monday, maybe the first one of these could go up Tuesday, then I have my Wednesday scheduled. Then the second one could go up Thursday, and then Friday, something like that. So they won't be as recent. They'll be a few days old, but they're still just me talking crap in my car, basically. I'm probably going to do like 25 minutes in total and then go, because I do want to go home. Because I am getting tired. I get tired a lot because of these illnesses, but there's tiredness and then there's the fatigue one. The fatigue one I hate. That is the worst one. Normally I wake up fatigued, feeling like I've not slept. Sometimes this feeling will go, sometimes it won't. Probably 7 times out of 10 it stays, but today and yesterday it went, thankfully. Because there's nothing worse than feeling that way. It feels worse than having no sleep. I bet it is peaceful up here in the middle of the night. Not that I'm planning on coming up in the middle of the night. Because I don't, as I said the reason why I don't go out in the middle of the night now. And also because of the tiredness that I feel. I just don't want to go out for a drive at that time. I wish I could, because there's times when I get so like, not the one where I'm really ill and I couldn't go out because I'd want to walk round, but I just get, I don't know, there's times when I do wish I could go out in the middle of the night, but I don't know if I'd come up here in the middle of the night. I don't know where I'd go. I really don't know where I'd go, to be honest. If I did go for a drive in the middle of the night, because obviously when I go for a drive I like to go and sit somewhere, but this definitely wouldn't be a place I would come at 3 in the morning. Neither is the place that I normally go, my original place, and I definitely wouldn't go to my newest place. I've not even been there since. I think next time I come for a drive, if it's dark or darkish, I think I might go and sit there. But I don't know when that'll be, because it might be Monday night, but it depends on what happens Monday and if I'm doing anything Tuesday. I don't even know what I'm doing at the moment. I know I've got the doctor's Friday. Friday just feels like forever away, because it's only Saturday now, so Friday feels like it could be next month. That's how it feels. It just feels like forever away, and I've just tried for a full week to get a doctor's appointment. So I hope, well, this week probably won't go fast. It'll probably drag because I want to go to the doctors so bad. Whoever wants to go to the doctors, like, is it weird that I just want to go to the doctors? She probably won't even give me anything. She never does. So frustrating going to the doctors and not coming out with any drugs. And I don't mean that in an addiction kind of way. I just mean that, like, when she was doing blood tests and it was coming back with my white blood count. When your white blood count's really high, it means you've got an infection in your body, and it's meant to be around 11, and mine was coming back at 19, 20, and she weren't giving me any antibiotics for it. And the hospital was like, because I told them, and they're like, why is she not giving you antibiotics? It's double what it should be, showing that there's infection in your body, and not just a little infection, a severe infection. And she just wasn't giving me any medication, and I ended up in hospital in March, and they found an infection in my body, but because I didn't have any outward symptoms, and basically I didn't pinpoint what was wrong with me because I was so stressed out, I couldn't pinpoint the symptoms. They didn't treat me for it, but they sent a letter to my doctor saying that they wanted her to do a blood test 2 weeks later, and to basically medicate me if it came back with the same results. And she never asked for the blood test. And I know the doctors pay for the blood test and they have a certain budget, but I clearly needed it because I ended up back in hospital, like, I don't know, was it a month later, because of the infection. And I always confuse them. I know I've said this in videos, but they always like have blood tests done and then they come back and they're like, I'm looking at you and you look healthy, but the blood test is saying otherwise. But it's always because of the makeup. Like, when I get admitted, I don't wear any makeup, and that shows how ill I am, because literally I will wear makeup when I go out the house to hide how ill I feel. And also to, like, if I'm feeling really down, the more down I am, and this is a little tip for anyone who knows me, the more down I am, the more makeup I'll wear. But also sometimes when I'm really down, I won't wear as much makeup, so it's hard to tell with me. But if I'm not wearing much makeup or I'm wearing a ton of makeup, it normally means I'm very, very down. Normally, if my physical health is bad as well, normally I'll pile it on as well, just to hide it. But I wear so much concealer, I'm going through concealer like crazy, but my eyes are so dark, like the dark circles are so dark, it literally looks like I've got 2 black eyes at the moment. But yeah, when I'm in hospital, I just don't put makeup on, and like, I'm that person who needs, like, walk with the house without mascara and some brow products on, because I've got blonde eyebrows. Like, it looks like I've got no eyebrows without any products on. And even if it's just like a bit of that brown mascara, I mean, every day I bloody spend ages doing my eyebrows, it does my head in. And I had them like tinted once because I had my hair dyed really dark, and I had it tinted, and the tint came off after about a week and a half, and it's supposed to last a month, so I was a bit like, I've just paid for that. So I was just using brow products to darken them, and like the brow products now that I use darken my brows, even though it's blonde, I think it's called Love is Blonde, that's the shade that I wear. It's a lot darker than my eyebrows, but I need it because I look like I don't have any when I've got no products on. Normally if like I film and I've got no makeup on, I'll normally have like a lot of moisturiser on, and that darkens my eyebrows a little bit, but they need product on. So when I'm in hospital and I've got no makeup on, that literally shows how ill I am, because normally when I'm ill I can still put it on, but last time I was in, I was just there like, I can't even be bothered. Like, I slept in hospital as well, like I'd have to have 2 naps a day, or I was having 3. Every time they gave me any kind of what's it called, pain relief, I'd have to go to sleep, because they were doing it intravenously, and that literally makes you so, well, it made me tired. So every time I had pain relief, I'd have to have a nap. I felt like I was about 90. It was really like difficult, having like, because I fight sleep a lot. A lot of the reasons is because of my nightmares, and a lot of the reasons is because stuff that's gone on and waking up and stuff happening that I don't want to happen. I fight sleep because I don't want things to happen that I don't want to happen, and I don't want my nightmares. So I fight sleep, and I fight sleep when I'm ill, and I always do it. I have less sleep when I'm ill than when I'm well, and normally obviously you need more sleep to get over illnesses, but I sleep a lot less when I'm not well, and I've always done that, always. I'm my own worst enemy when I'm ill, because I get a lot less sleep. I know there's some illnesses like when you have heavy colds and flu and it's really impossible to sleep, especially the first couple of days. Well, normally with me, if I get a cold, I never get a mild cold. It drives me mad. I always get this full-on thing. It's practically on the verge of flu. I feel horrendous when I get a cold. Normally it takes 3 days to get to its worst. And day 3 is the worst. Like, I end up with a high temperature. I've even done once, I think I had flu, to be honest. There was once, and I never got, because it's impossible to get a doctor's appointment when you ring up and describe your symptoms to the receptionist, like, oh, you've got a bit of a cold. And I'm there thinking, I wish it was just a bit of a cold, because I wouldn't feel like death. I'm going to continue this. I'm going to have to film a 4th video to continue this. I'll be back.